What's up, guys? It's Eventon here. Ignore the ship on the screen. It is probably one of my favorite looking ships in the game, but today we're going to be talking about the Hypernet relay. And I've actually made some videos in the past talking about Hypernet. I would say my most popular one is the one that talks about how Hypernet is not a scam. I will put a link to that video like down in the description below. I would say I'm kind of proud of that video. I would say that the topic in general, I get the point across, but there is some factually numerical numbers I do get incorrect and stuff. But the long story short of it, in my personal opinion, Hypernet is not a scam. You're well aware of your odds of winning. You're well aware of how much ISK you're spending. Your chances of winning the item you're getting, like it's not really up for debate factually the kind of items you're getting. And honestly, at the end of the day, in my personal opinion, it doesn't matter if you're only willing to invest one ticket in order to win an item. It doesn't matter if the other 7 tickets are bought by one person or 7 other people individually, 1 ticket each. Your chances of winning are still 1 out of 8. It doesn't matter. So just because the person wins their item back, it doesn't mean it's a scam or anything like that. If anything, they're actually doing you a favor, which part of the reason why I wanted to make this video was I am planning a series of videos, I would say over the next month or so, because this is something that will take some time. It could be even a couple months too. I would say this video I'm going to touch very briefly on just some of the consumer trends when it comes to people that do go on the Hypernet relay and buy tickets and certain which items are popular, at least that I've found personally to work really, really well. Also some of the psychology that kind of goes into Hypernet relay that I've noticed, and not so much psychology, but again, just kind of consumer trends. And because I do want to make a video of me, because I've actually, just to kind of show you a bit of my history, just kind of an annoying part. It only shows you the last 10 items that you've ever sold or that you've ever kind of like bought tickets for or sold on in the Hypernet. So that's kind of annoying. I kind of wish you could go back at least like maybe 20, 50 orders, something like that. But I've actually put up 464 orders and won 233. There's a handful of orders that I did join, and those are usually T2 like BPOs or really expensive items like a war call, where like, hey, I'll throw a few million ISK at it, or a couple 100 million ISK at like a T2 BPO, because if you win that kind of stuff, now that's completely like EVE career changing. Like if you win a certain like T2 BPO, like now that's worth hundreds of billions, and now you can basically just retire in EVE Online, at least in my opinion. So I put up a lot of orders. So I feel like after nearly 500 orders, I kind of know what I'm talking about, but I do want to elaborate more on the Hypernet relay. And I personally found the sweet spot to be in this region when you're trying to sell items is when the Hypernet node count is between 8 and 16 and 0 and 10. I'm not sure why there is such a huge jump between 10 million and 100 million for the ticket amount, because basically you're trying to find people that are willing to spend 100 million ISK per ticket item, or per ticket, and there's not a lot of people willing to have that ISK or willing to risk that amount of ISK to do it. Because if you change it from 10 to 100 million, now you're basically betting on items that are anywhere between, if we change that down to 8, anywhere between 80 million and 800 million. And there's a lot of ships and modules that fit in that range. So another thing you want to do when you're putting up your items on Hypernet is like you want to put up items that are easily findable. And I pretty much narrowed down this as much as I could, or if we actually ended up changing this to 16 and we start doing these search results, there's so many ships and items and implants and structures that fit in this region between 10 to 100 million ISK. I've tried selling a few things in this region and they end up like selling eventually, but they just took like a really long time and it cut it like really close, or they didn't sell at all. I would say the majority of my items that I would say like 99% of the time, anytime I put a ship in this region between 0 to 10, it pretty much always sold. And when you do put up a ship, so let's go ahead and put up a venture here. As long as the price is below the estimated value that it just gives you right off the bat, because right now, I mean, ventures are costing how much? They're definitely not $500,000 ISK. Like they always overvalue the price a bit. So yeah, I mean, we're talking 300,000 right here, and it's given us a price of 500,000. So as long as you keep the price below the amount that it gives you, personally, like I would probably put the price at like 500,000, something like that. So it's still in the green, which is kind of another part of the, not necessarily psychology, but people are much more likely to bid on your items or buy a ticket if your per ticket value is in the green. And what I'll do too is like, let's go ahead and look up, so what was that, a purifier? We'll go ahead and look up the other purifier too. Purifier. It'll load. It might be going a bit slower because I am using my recording software as well. Don't know why it's not working. Did I spell it wrong? There it goes. We're going to click on that. There's actually quite a few on the market right now, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. So the person here, so that the Hypernode price is 4,893,900 whatever. This person put it just shy of that amount of what they did it. So even though it looks the same, people for whatever reason are just much more likely to bid on the green. And so if I were to put up purifiers, I'd probably just put it at 488 or 479 or whatever it is that you want to undercut the person, because it's really no different. You're just undercutting the person just like the market normally for the most part. But overall, just the search function items of the Hypernet Relay is just so awful, because you can't just go to the next page and like get past this panther. Sometimes after you refresh it once or twice, you'll see that like same panther, that same ship again, especially if you have some like really narrow like filters on the Hypernet. So I'm not a huge fan of that. And as you saw before when we put up the venture, there is a 5% tax when it comes to the Hypernet cores, which you need to keep up with, as well as like a 5% tax that you just pay and just raw ISK based on the price of the amount. So we put it up here for like 500,000, but if we put it up for 500 million, you see the Hypernet cores go up. Same thing with the Hypernet fee goes up as well. So my plan is to basically put up a lot of sell orders, or I should say buy orders, for ships that are in that region between 8 to 16 nodes, because I've just noticed that not a lot of people are a fan of just trying to basically buy up, 12 nodes, or God forbid, like 58 nodes worth of stuff just to eventually sell it. People just like to simplify the process, I think. So I'm going to try and do something like what this guy's doing. I'm going to try and maybe put up a bunch of pirate faction frigates. I might put up some T2 destroyers, some T3 destroyers, put all these items up on the Hypernet Relay and just see which ones work. This person doesn't, this item was put up about 3 hours ago, and he's bought no tickets. So I'm just genuinely curious, like, hey, if I put up 20, I'm not going to put up 20 worms all at once. I'm going to try and do a diverse range of ships, kind of covering different range values within that filter that I showed here earlier, and just see which ones do well. So I might put up 20 ships that I bought none of the tickets on, and just see how many actually sell, and then probably do another 20 different ships that fill in that same range with half the tickets bought as well. And to me personally, I think maybe only once ever have I not had a ticket fully sell if I bought half of my tickets. And that's kind of the whole point, is that usually these people aren't doing it just so they can win their ship back and put up the item again. I think they're just trying to simplify the process for the people that are trying to buy the tickets and get that going. So yeah, this was just kind of like a brief overview and explanation of just kind of like the Hypernet, but will make some more videos kind of going more granular about, again, the consumer trends and kind of my thought process. Maybe I'll do a challenge where, hey, if I invest a billion ISK and just buy a bunch of ships and put it on the Hypernet, like how much am I able to profit in the long run? Because when it comes to Hypernet, it's all about just raw numbers. If you are investing a billion ISK into ships and just like putting them up on the Hypernet and kind of seeing what happens, you are much better off buying 20 ships that cost 50 mil each and putting them up on the market than buying basically 5 ships costing 200 mil each. If you have a billion ISK to invest. You just want to play the raw numbers, and I try to make all the ships cost relatively about the same, I would say, because the last thing you want to do is buy 5 ships that cost 50 mil and then buy 1 ship that cost half a bill, and then like that one ship could go either way if you win or lose the Hypernet, and then all of a sudden you just lose a ton of profits undoing a lot of the work you did for some of the smaller ships. So I like to just play the raw numbers. So again, I'm probably kind of getting too granular with all this. I'll explain it more in my later videos. But I am giving away a Vedmak scope syndication skin in this video. So down in the comments below, let me know what your guys' experience is with the Hypernet Relay. How do you guys feel about it? Is there any kind of topics or things or questions you guys have about the videos that I'm going to be bringing up in the near future, or questions you want me to answer in the videos? Because I have a general sense of what I want to talk about in the videos, but if you guys do want to have a very specific question answered, I would love to know that down in the comments below. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys take care and you fly safe.